This is chess, but let's come back to that later. This is a cat. This is a mouse. Put them on this board, and you get cat and mouse. A simple game for 2 players. The mouse must evade capture, whilst the cat tries to chase it down. The mouse moves, and then the cat follows. The mouse moves, the cat follows. And on, and on, and on, around, and through the simple board until infinity. It seems like the cat can just never catch the mouse. But wait, the cat's seen something. What if it stopped moving here, and let the mouse come to her? Then the mouse would be forced to come close enough for the cat's claws to sink in. But passing the turn is illegal in this game, so it needs to get a little bit creative. Chess players are probably now getting really excited because of familiar positions like this one. In this position, the person who next plays will lose. If black has to play, they must move away from their pawn and let white take it. And if white has to play, they have to do the exact same thing, and then black will take their pawn. The better side should then win with some half-decent technique. But the cat doesn't lose. Instead of shuffling back and forth in 2 moves, what if it did the same thing in 1 move, or 3 moves? Well, 1 is impossible, but there is an awfully convenient triangle here that gets the cat back to where it started with 3. So instead of chasing, the cat backs away and maneuvers in this silly little triangle, only to realise it has achieved exactly what it set out to do. The mouse is stuck. It must move, and then the cat will eat it. I assume that's the point of the game. At this point, chess players are loudly shouting, zugzwang, which just means any position where you must move, but you would really rather not. In our first chess-related example, where we said neither player wanted to move, then we say that whoever must move is in zugzwang, because nothing warms our hearts more than the German compound word. In both games, we are utilising the exact same concept, but there's another layer we can add. There are situations where we can copy the cat's pattern into a chess game in order to win, just in the right circumstances though. Take this position. You can analyse if it won, or I could just tell you the answer. The crucial squares here, analogous to our central and outward circles from the cat and mouse game, will be d4 for white and e6 for black. If white just plays its king to d4 right away, black will step up and white will be in zugzwang. And then black would actually win. So instead, as white, we can copy the cat here and go king to d3. White plans on moving around the triangle to get to d4, and black can't match it because either it steps up or it steps backwards, and neither gets to the square on the right move. Either way, black loses when white completes the triangle to d4. Black is now the one in zugzwang. And once this pawn is lost, so is black's position. Now here's the claim. These 2 positions are functionally identical, insofar as they are solved the same way. Either the player goes forward and loses, or they move around the triangle and win. I know the cat can't actually lose, but I suppose it could keel over in embarrassment instead. One more thing. What if the cat could lose? Well then, in this position you would obviously go here, because that's the only place the cat doesn't get eaten by the mouse. And quite quickly, the cat will win. In fact, the game is now trivially easy if there's some jeopardy involved. Paradoxically, making the game harder for the cat makes the game actually much easier to solve. Also, if the cat could lose, then the only good move on both boards is to go around the triangle, to triangulate, as everything else is the equivalent of blundering mate in 1. Will chess players solve this puzzle quicker? I'm not so sure. That's because psychologists have already tested chess players' skills in a number of different ways, most significantly by this guy, Adrian de Groot, who was also handily a chess master. His work was also built on by William Chase and Herbert Simon later. The important finding comes from this simple experiment. Give players a chess position, let them see it for 5 seconds, cover it up, and then make them remake it on a second board. Then do that as many times as it takes to exactly remake the board position. The experiment was done with masters and with beginners, with two types of boards. Firstly, one you would see in an ordinary game, and nonsensical problems you would never get in chess. When the positions were normal chess games, masters were much faster at remaking the board with far fewer peaks of the board. But when the positions were absurd, there wasn't much of a discernible difference. The conclusion being that chess players were good at memorizing chess specifically, and chess patterns. Applying this back to our example, I would expect that if the chess player understands the position is just like chess, they might get it much faster. But if they don't see the similarities with chess, then I expect the effect to be more minimal. Our situation is actually the opposite of the experiment. They aren't chess pieces, but they are utilizing a chess concept. So maybe it would be wildly different to the experiment's findings. More widely, this experiment is just a cautionary tale in assuming that skills in chess will be easily transferred elsewhere. I didn't get this particularly fast, by the way, and I don't have enough data to say if chess ability had an impact, but I would like to test it one day.